what we can learn from a YouTube traveler who was drugged in Brazil. Hey guys, this is Ozzie from Wanderlust Awe Syndrome, where I provide unique views, advice, and stories for you, the passionate traveler. Today, we're going to cover Swedish Gringo, who is a Swedish guy who moved from his country to live in Brazil for at least a few months. He wanted to show the beauties and wonders of the country. In this video that we're going to review, he talks about being drugged in Brazil, so we're going to cover that, so let's get into it. Alright, so I have the video from Swedish Gringo. Let's hear his experience of what happened when he got drugged in Brazil.
This time I'm in a real mess.
So, this is pretty much what it looked like when I woke up at lunchtime a few days ago. All clothes on, extreme dizziness, and an empty apartment.
That there is pure panic. Some of you might know me as the Swedish Gringo. I quit my job to move to Brazil and show everyone how wonderful this country is. That dream is now over without your help.
This is how I find my suitcase. On the floor, more or less empty. All money, all credit cards, gone. And this is when I'm starting to realize I am totally screwed.
That is the most terrifying thing any traveler can experience, when you get drugged and they take everything. They clean you out. Passport, credit cards, anything that you need to get back to your home or somewhere safe. That is the most terrifying thing any traveler can experience. And I can only imagine the panic going through his mind as he is going through all this. It's just so much to process in this. It is crazy. This is the worst nightmare for any traveler. Let's continue.
I have nothing left. All in all, they've stolen all my video equipment with computer and cell phones at a total cost of over $4,000 and $400 cash. And with access to my phones and credit cards, they also spent over $2,000 while I was sleeping.
They have taken everything.
Okay, so when you go to Brazil, particularly in Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro is one of the most unique cities in the world, where you can clearly see the wealthy living next to the poor. They're literally living next door to each other. A lot of the poor live in places called favelas. For those of you who don't know where a favela is, it's pretty much a Brazilian ghetto. And it's illegal in Brazil, but because people kept building these mini cities in places like Rio de Janeiro, they kept growing, and the government decided to give up because it was just too much for them to handle. And you have these favelas. Many of these favelas are well known. They're in media. You've heard of them at some point, for many of you who are interested in going to Brazil. But favelas have a lot of poor people living there. And with poor people means desperate people. Therefore, you're going to have thieves. Thieves who are going to take stuff from you. And one of the things you gotta worry about is not having valuables out in place. I don't know if he had valuables when he got robbed. I don't know, but I'm guessing that he was clearly a target from the get-go, and these people were pretty desperate to want to steal from him. So let's continue on and hear what else he has to tell us from what we can learn.
This is where I used to have my drone with extra batteries, controller. This is where I used to have my bag with technical stuff, microphone, external hard drives, AirPods, and my spare phones. Pretty much all the stuff I need for my editing. And this here used to be my workstation. This is where I used to have my laptop and all the things I needed to get the videos done. Now it's just a clean table.
So, how did this all happen? On my birthday a few days back, I agreed to share a drink with a Brazilian couple for my health. Instead, they drugged me and broke into my apartment.
Obviously, they stole my speaker, which was right here. They also took my beach bag with my shorts and sunscreen.
Yeah, that's another thing you gotta be very careful when you go out to places like Rio de Janeiro, is if people, strangers, are giving you drinks, say no. The only drinks, if you decide to drink alcohol when you're out there, you should be paying money to people who are going to ensure that your drinks are not drugged. Never take drinks from strangers, people you don't know. If they're not your family, friends, or people that you're actually giving money to because it's their job to make sure that they give you a safe drink, don't take the drink. I would never take a drink from a stranger that I didn't know. I don't really care that much unless I'm in a area like my hotel where there's tons of security, there's cameras, there's people out in front looking out, making sure that the area is safe. I feel sad. I feel pity for this guy because, I mean, it was his birthday and he wanted to celebrate it, and he was such in a good mood and he loved Brazil and having fun, but he let his guard down for that moment because he let that blind him from the realities of what could happen, and unfortunately the bad things happened to him. Let's continue on.
Pretty much everything from the cabinets on. They did leave me my clothes, most of them.
That was nice of them to leave his clothes. I mean, I guess some thieves have some morals or some code, if you want to say. But that's nice that they pity him enough to give him allow him to have clothes for him to wear.
And they got greedy.
This is where my Havaianas used to be. And one day later, I even realized they took their time to go through all my toiletries and steal my hair trimmer. So now I look like this. Funny detail, they were also smart enough to lock me inside the apartment. When I'm coming to the door, it's locked from the outside. They have the key. I have to break the door open.
That's really crazy that these thieves had planned this. I mean, they went detail mode. They even found ways, safeguard ways to ensure that he would not try to catch up with them. And this is what you gotta worry about as a traveler. You gotta keep your mind always on guard, ready to prepared for whatever. And because there are some really smart people out there. You might think all the smart people are in your country, or most of them are there, but there are a lot of smart people who will use every means possible to ensure that they get what they want without you trying to catch up with them. And unfortunately for him, not only was he drugged, and even if he did have the power and strength to try to go after them, he would have been in deep trouble because the drug would have made him disoriented, and they would have made it very complicated to put a safeguard as breaking the door and locking him inside to where he could not have catch them. So I just find that very interesting how these thieves operated against him. Let's continue.
So the next hours, a locksmith had come and changed the locks.
If you can make any kind of donation so I can get a basic cell phone, a computer, and some simple video equipment, it would be deeply appreciated. Otherwise, I have no choice but give up. Thank you.
Last second update. After Google has now finally given me access to my own account, I got into my PayPal account and I realized the criminals have taken everything. That was my last resort, about $850. I am now officially dead.
I just feel bad for this guy. I want to do something for him because I think he was trying to show how beautiful and wonderful Brazil is. I just hope this incident will not only teach him a lesson, but will teach everyone a lesson. Also, I hope this doesn't put a permanent dimmer on Brazil, because when I went to Brazil, it was awesome. I had a fun time. I felt safe when I was out there, but at the same time, I kept my guard up and I made sure things were okay for me to do without trying to be in that situation. But at the end of the day, I feel really bad for him, and I hope he recovers, and I hope he gets the help he needs. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, and share this video to help all passionate travelers who are interested in going to Brazil, because safety is important in order for us to have fun on our trip. Also, share my other videos. Check out my other videos. They're there to help you guys. I'll be seeing you later. Peace.